the guy's Bombad.
Welcome to the Bombadcast.
What is going on, Bombad fam? It's your boy, Scotty Jarrow, and boy, do we have a special episode for you. I hope you're doing great. Hope everything's feeling good. And I want to do us a big favor. If you haven't had the opportunity to, look it up, listen, figure it out. We are part of the Beyond the Blasters Network, and on the Beyond the Blasters Network, we have several good shows, okay? But in particular, we got two on the show today. We've got Around the Galaxy, Pete Fletzer, and we got the Holochronicles. I think you're going to love this episode. And remember, if you like us, find us at beyondtheblastwars.com. That's where you can find all of our articles and information. And if you really like us, go to patreon.com/beyondtheblastwars. All right, y'all. You're going to dig this episode. It's something I'm very, very proud of. I did a lot of research on this one. And if you don't know, go check it on YouTube. There's going to be a video accompanying this one. All right, y'all. Hope you enjoy. Bombad fam, this is a huge episode for us. We actually have the Holo Boys over here, okay? We've got Pete right here. What is happening? Jerry, what is going on, dude?
I don't know. I'm still doing the Brady Bunch thing.
Well, it works. It works.
Oh, I just waved at no one over here.
Nice. Nice. Well, what's going on, fellas? I mean, let's start with Pete first. Pete,
hi.
How's things? You doing okay?
Things are great, man.
Yeah.
Things are awesome. You know, you said you're going to do a Phantom Menace episode, and I was like, I am there. I want to talk about Phantom Menace toys and things because it was it was a crazy time for Star Wars, and I'm excited to be here, dude.
Well, I'm very happy you're here because Pete was actually on, and Jerry, if you can wait, Jerry's done here. Jerry, if you can remember, correctly, Pete was on our Phantom Menace Bombad build-up like a year ago at this time. How cool was that?
Oh, right. Yeah, man, that's kind of crazy. It's wild.
It is weird.
This is like the set of Hollywood Squares. We're actually above each other. We're in like a plywood set.
We actually, right. If I reach through,
just poke Scotty in the face.
Come on, Scotty, do the hand. There it is. Yeah.
But yeah, no, and we've also got the first timers on Bombadcast ever, besides Andy was here like 2 weeks ago. We got Josh. Josh was going on.
I'm so excited to get Bombad. It's been long enough, you jerks. You won't have me on. You're like, oh, I don't know. We're kind of busy this week, and then finally
we held off as long as we could. So.
Finally, Scotty, you finally let me on.
Jerry. There were a number of times, Josh, where they were like, "Should we have him?" And I was like, "I don't know if you want to do that.
Do you want to have a good show?"
Right.
Oh no,
I'm super stoked. I'm super stoked to be here. This is a great topic, and I will hand it to my pal Andy to continue.
Oh, I received that.
Thank you.
I received that. What I really like about this is that, just like Scotty, when we did our episode talking about Return of the Jedi, Pete and Josh and I were actually there. We were there for this. So you said earlier that you were 5 years old when Phantom Menace came out. And that means, Jerry, you were probably, what, 12?
Mm-hmm.
A 10?
Yeah, it was like right
11.
there, 12, right? The George Lucas sweet spot, man.
So your perspective...
Easy.
Also the Michael Jackson sweet spot.
Yeah.
Peter!
Your guys' the Bombad,
that's about to age out, but
the Bombad experience on the Phantom Menace was purely from a childlike wonder and excitement level. Mm-hmm. Josh and I, our experience was I was just graduating from college looking for a job. Josh was
opted out of college
and was putting food on the table. I mean, so like it's not like we had a lot of disposable income, but we were definitely there and felt and built off of the excitement. And then Pete's perspective, just being a little bit older than us, maybe with a little bit of disposable income, he could actually partake in all of the toy and merchandising that took place. I think we're going to cover all the bases today.
Yeah, heck yeah. That's the point of this, and one thing I will bring up definitely is Jerry and I have talked about doing this for months now, like literally maybe since May, and now we're finally here, and it's just I think it's the right time to do it because there's some things we'll talk about later. You can see some things starting to come back again. Like the most recent episode of Mando is pretty interesting for that reason, But with that being said, I don't know. I think it's really important to bring up where we were, and it was already kind of stated, right? Pete, you were obviously Father Time, and you were there the longest, and you were the oldest at the time. And what is your memory of that era? Because that was a weird era in terms of you got EU coming before this and everything, and now you're actually here, and there's a new Star Wars. What's up with that?
Well, it was kind of cool because, like you were just saying, I mean, this was just after the dark times, right? As it's sort of been known, right? And the special editions had come and had been, both well received, and it was probably the first time we saw any sort of backlash against anything Star Wars was, Greedo shooting first, and some of the commentary, both positively and negatively, on the on some of the additions to the original trilogy. But it was a bizarre time. And it was, there was certainly no question that marketing was going to play a part again in Star Wars, because we had all the buildup with the toys, and it wasn't called a Force Friday, but the day that the Phantom Menace toys were released in the Toys R Us's, Toys R Us Toys R I.
I think it's a murder of Toys R Us.
Across the country back when it was still in business. But I remember vividly the day that those were released, because I was working, I was actually doing web development for a company in New Jersey where I was, and literally like 5 minutes from the office building I was in was a Toys R Us. And I remember taking the time off. I didn't do the midnight opening. I was like, that's a little crazy. Now I would have done that today, of course. But I remember going at my lunch hour and just like taking a shopping cart into Toys R Us and just pulling action figures off and just putting them into the cart and coming back with coming back into the office with a Darth Maul and a Jar Jar Binks that I had to open up and put them on. Of course. And much like when I saw Star Wars in 1977, because I am, Father Time, I remember like with C-3PO, I in my mind, when I was a little kid, C-3PO was a bad guy. Just before I saw the movie, I just saw pictures of him. I was like, he's a bad guy. And Jar Jar Binks and Darth Maul, we knew really nothing about. We didn't know how we were going to feel about Jar Jar, and we expected more out of Darth Maul simply because he was, the backdrop to the movie poster. So but it was the first time also, and I recall seeing grown men like myself in the store buying multiple copies of action figures, because it was, we weren't gonna miss out on that opportunity to once again, I'm not gonna have action figures get thrown away and all that stuff that and miss that opportunity to have that first run of action figures, which of course, very few of them are worth much more than I paid for them on that day.
That's crazy to think about. Like, really, everyone had this hype of what it could be, Yep. And we're actually seeing that a lot now with like the Pokemon franchise. Like, people are starting to find their old cards and sell them for so much money too. So It's weird, like what does and doesn't make it into that, area of, easy money in terms of collecting. Yep. And we got two experts on that right here. Josh, what was your memory of that era? Because you were like a college student, or almost.
I wasn't in college. Andy was. I was in the workforce, and I was trying to make a buck. But I do remember that as being an awakening, so to speak, for me. As
do you feel it?
Exactly. No, then let's just say it. As a Star Wars fan, like a child Star Wars fan who then had the dark times, as was described, and any fan, we didn't know in the 90s that Star Wars was going to make a comeback. So at that point, it just became nostalgia, right? It became like, oh, I'm going to go buy the VHS set when it comes out the complete series, because didn't it take them quite a while for that to come out? Like you couldn't see it unless it was like a special on NBC or something. You couldn't rewatch Star Wars again, or it was on HBO and you had to have, grandpa record it for you on the VCR, which you could never figure out. Anyway, so I remember that when it hit, I was pumped, and all the promotion, all the things that hit TV, there was no internet, so to speak, or to speak of. And so I remember really being like, it kind of warped me back a little bit. Again, an awakening. I was like, oh yeah, I love Star Wars. I forgot in the last, 10 years, 15 years. I forgot that I loved Star Wars as much as I did. And so to have it hit the screens again, I remember feeling like, is it okay for me? I think I was 22. Is it okay for me to still like Star Wars? Yeah. And then it was the beginning of going and seeing movies at their premiere. I had never done that before. Oh, I'd never gone to a movie at midnight or whenever, and that was my first experience, because it turned out, it didn't take me long to realize, it turned out I was still a huge Star Wars fan, and I totally wanted this to happen, even though I didn't know it was going to happen. And that was kind of led up with the re-releases and all that stuff. But it was interesting. And again, you made the point, like Pete said, he's bringing in the shopping cart to Toys R Us. I didn't have any extra income. So at that time, and I know we're going to talk about merchandise, at that time, it wasn't on my radar except for some exceptions, and we'll probably talk about those later.
Cool.
So I'll hand it on.
No, interesting thing, because I hadn't thought about this yet. Your experience with the Phantom Menace was my experience with The Force Awakens. Like, I had forgotten I liked that franchise, and I was literally 21 when The Force Awakens came out, or I was 20 when The Force Awakens came out. Very same experience where I'm like, why do I want this? Why am I doing this? What made me get back into this? What was that hype about? And so Andy, I want to get to you now. With your experience, you were in college. Did you see anything like at your campus of people wearing like Phantom Menace gear or anything like that?
No. In fact, I was just graduating from college, so it wasn't like I had just wrapped up a 3-week teaching thing, and a couple of my students were gonna go camp out the night before for tickets, and I gave them $20 to get me one. And so as soon as I was done, I got done at 11 o'clock on a Thursday, and just walked over. This is when I was living in Portland. Just walked over to the theater, which the line was incredibly long. And they were playing it at like a 7 theater multiplex, and every theater was packed with people dressed up with lightsabers, and I walked up to 4th in line to the theater because my 2 students were there. And so I still have the ticket stub. It's cool. But all I remember, or at least there's a lot of things I remember, but one of the main things I remember is that this was the first time, and this leads into the merch, I suppose, but this is my first time. Like, I saw Return of the Jedi in the theater when I was 5, but like the excitement was, you could feel it. Like, I had never experienced it like this before, because I didn't go see the special editions in the theater. I had read a bunch of the extended universe books, and some were really cool and some were lame. And, there was just this big void of lack of Star Wars that now I felt like it was 1977 again, except all of the promotion and merchandising and toys and anything that you could put a Star Wars label on was ramped up even more than it was in 77 through 83. Like, it was just absolutely through the roof. This was the first time I saw guys buy toys to not take them out.
Yep.
And it was at that point where I thought, you know what? I'm going to go back and get all those original ones, because if this is what they're doing for the new stuff and everybody's getting them, then I'm going to go back and start getting those original ones. And that episode 1 is when I became a collector of the vintage stuff.
So, dude, that's heavy, because I mean, that's literally all you do now. That is what you love to collect. That is what you're obsessed with.
That's what got me started on it. And it wasn't like I just started buying stuff. It was like, oh, garage sale this summer. Okay, I'll grab a few things, and I mean, it was a slow boat to China, if you know what I mean. But
sure,
that's when it started for me. It was episode 1. It was like, you know what, this is cool. But instead of getting all the stuff now, I'm gonna go back and get the original stuff.
That is so sick. No, that's a weird thing to happen. I don't collect like y'all do, but I do. I used to collect in high school retro video games, and the same thing would happen once that old console, the one previous before the console. Let's say the Switch came on, Nintendo Switch. Well, then right now the Nintendo Wii would be the thing that's hot, right? Like the thing to collect. So it was always this thing that was like, once this showed up, this went away, And maybe the Phantom Menace will have its time. I don't know. We'll see. And my buddy over here, Jerry, what was your experience like, man? Because you were, like you said, the G spot of George Lucas's.
The George spot.
The George spot does work, but that's not what I said. That's not what I said. Come on now, this is a Bombadcast thing. But anyway, no, yeah, I was, George, famously said, I made this for 12-year-olds to a room full of 30 and 40-year-olds who were buying his merch and listening to his every word.
Yes.
Which, that's the funniest thing I think I've ever seen, is George Lucas telling a room full of sweaty nerds like us, I made this for children.
Not made for you. Yeah.
Thank you for your money, but this is not for you.
Yeah, maybe get a life.
But Jerry,
takes a sip.
How was your experience then? Because you were like late middle school, kind of,
Kind of, yeah. I know, like 6th grade or something. I don't know. It was kind of a crazy time. Like I had gone to see all of the special editions in the theater, right? My cousin, before all the special editions came out, my parents bought me that last box set, the Faces edition and all that. I've got both of those like upstairs. I need to bring them down here. I think it might actually be over in my
I have it right here. Hold on.
It's a giant crate over beside me that I might have them in. But yeah, it's I just remember, like, Star Wars was always a part of my life, right? And I was excited when the special editions came out. They had a bunch of like toys in the fast food things. We did a lot of fast food when I was a kid, so that's where I really kind of got that. There you go. There's the Faces, along with that special face. Look at that. Oh, look at that. Yeah.
I still don't understand why a Stormtrooper was for Empire, but that's a whole other conversation for another day.
Stormtroopers are forever.
Are the Empire, right? I don't know. Who cares?
Pete does.
But so yeah,
it's keeping me up at night, guys. I think about that
Pete
VHS
just waking
box.
up in a cold sweat.
Damn it!
Like, why was it a Stormtrooper? So I just remember, like, all of a sudden Star Wars was everywhere I looked, right? Like, and I had started getting, I think a couple years before that, like right after I watched all the special editions in theater, I started going there was a specific grocery store that would every now and then have Star Wars Insider in it. And I didn't know how often it came out. And so that's probably why, to me, it seemed like it was like decades until a new one would come out. But I would go and try, like, and beg my mom, like, please. I would walk around the grocery store with, how you do, and then, like, you beg, like, please get this for me. And so then you start to read stuff about Phantom Menace and the making of it, and it's coming out, all that kind of stuff. And then we get to the time where they're building up to it, and I mean, I've never seen this before. Again, back on the fast food thing, 3 fast food chains, which were kind of, I mean, later on they kind of revealed their cards because they started having like combo restaurants. But Taco Bell, Pizza Hut, KFC were like, we're going to do like a complete, like, each of us is going to be a planet. We're going to have all these toys and stuff. And like, I don't know if you've got the commercial in there, but there's like a commercial.
Oh, I have it, yeah.
Of Colonel Sanders, which I don't know if I even saw this on TV, but I remember like just feel like that was the feel of that era. Like Colonel Sanders, the Taco Bell Chihuahua, yeah, and then some random girl who delivers Pizza Hut pizza, which I guess was their mascot at the time, like a flow of pizza. So
Look, I'll get it pulled up.
Get it pulled up. But here's one. This is from whichever one was Naboo. I think it was KFC and stuff. But this is just so I've got just little random things like this scattered all about my house and all that. So there you go. YouTube. Look, is this like a turducken or something? Like,
oh, give me 1 second. Let me add the audio in. Hold on real quick. Yeah, no, I don't remember this, but it's weird. It looks like it's alternative shots from the Phantom Menace. There's like a couple of shots in here. I'm like, that's kind of odd. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like
it's like legit special effects kind of for the time and all that.
Oh yeah.
I got something special to show that I think the Hollow Boys might be interested in that I was very excited about though. I don't know, Lee, you got that ready to go?
Yep, I got it ready to go. So this is the Pizza Hut KFC Taco Bell Star Wars Episode 1 commercial. It's pretty funny, actually. And it's not Norm Macdonald as Colonel Sanders, so it's a shame.
Okay, here we go. This is pre-Norm Macdonald.
Yes.
McDonald's.
Is there such thing as pre-Norm Macdonald? I have to be honest.
I don't remember a time.
Here we go. They're on Naboo.
Okay. Look out! It's the new stormtroopers.
It's the lightsaber.
You're a real colonel, right?
Play Defeat the Dark Side. Get
Wow.
a medallion and you could win one of millions of prizes instantly. Even a Star Wars
Which I
speeder. Only at Pizza Hut,
definitely
Taco Bell, and
played.
KFC.
Who won that speeder? I want to see that.
I
speeder.
want to see. So quick, hit YouTube and find the dude driving that speeder around on a freaking airbag. I want to see that. It's got to be someone from the Bayou anyway, Scotty. So you probably know this person.
Yeah, no,
Probably
you're
live next
probably right.
door.
Probably your neighbor, just like everybody else.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Who won
my neighbor
that
Paul's
sweet
family.
Apple computer?
Speeder
Those-
not
those
heater-proof.
like blue ones.
Yes.
The
Those things were
Macintosh.
cool. I always wondered.
Let me throw something in. I remember that vividly, and we talked a little bit about this pre-show. That was my experience with the Phantom Menace merchandising initially. Like I said, I was 22
Yeah.
or. So yeah, Taco Bell was where I ate. That's just the way it is. And so was not so much Pizza Hut and KFC, but Taco Bell.
Yeah.
Taco Bell had my number, and so I collected a lot of things from Taco Bell, many of which were
Set the Death Star alarm?
yeah. Don't worry about it.
Time's up. Sorry. All right. Well, this was fun, guys.
That was my
Wrong show.
that was my original get on with you guys alarm, which got pushed back. Anyway, Taco Bell was a big influencer, and I bought all the dumb crap. So but it all went by the wayside. I ended up only acquiring it through eventually. And this is one thing I should add. This was the time when I could live through like my brothers. I have younger brothers. I'm the oldest of 4 brothers. I could live through my younger brothers and then my younger cousins. We had a pretty tight knit family at the time as far as who was in the households all the time. And they were like, Phantom Menace brought Star Wars into their lives, which I think is and I got to witness that from a merchandising perspective as far as how excited they got about it. I don't know, because now I'm not as tied in and I have girls. So when Force Awakens came out, there was no, except for me, there was nobody into it except for me.
We went and saw it.
We went and saw, but they'd go with me, but they'd be like, "Oh, Dad, you nerd," and they'd walk out, and we'd go watch other stuff at home. But it was the first time I got to witness excitement on my level as a child through my brothers and my cousins, and so I eventually ended up. My cousin went off when he was a kid, and so about 4 years later, I was able to acquire his entire collection so that he could buy a TV.
Wow.
Isn't that something? So I ended up,
that.
I paid him $400, and it was actually almost kind of like a to help him out purchase. Not so much that I wanted the stuff, but I got crates and bins full of Phantom Menace stuff, and also like Power of the Force. All that came out. They inserted all that stuff, and so I got these and I still have them. Andy and I have torn through them before and looked for cool stuff and pulled it out, and I hang on to it for a nostalgic feel as well. But that was the first time I really experienced somebody else's joy through Star Wars. It was fun because they were way in. They were as in as I was at their age. But you know, they had mom and dad Zero who had more money than my mom and dad at the time, and they were just getting all the cool stuff, except for when he needed a TV. And then mom and dad weren't there. Cousin Josh was.
Josh with the Radio Shack hookup.
Oh, a Radio Shack credit card. I'm like, you bet, buddy. Yeah,
nice.
That's awesome. See, my memory must have been more similar to your cousins, like you said, because like I was 5, so the things I remember were the toys primarily, and like being tiny and looking up at the displays and stuff. And there's a mall in Louisiana, Baton Rouge particularly, called Mall of Cortana, and it's just got like a very regal name. And the place has recently just shut down. It had became really bad area of town, you name it, all the things working against it. But like, there were so many memories in that mall when I was like 5 of like getting Taco Bell, and like it's so weird. That Taco Bell like nacho cheese has not changed obviously in 20 years, and
same
like it's probably the same.
Oh, thank God!
Trademark.
So I remember eating a Taco
Take
Bell.
it off the chip and look underneath there.
Exactly.
My digestive system has though. Sorry.
No. But it brings a good point, because I remember eating it and remembering the taste, and I had gotten an Anakin Skywalker toy. You know what I mean? I remember like looking through it, and because you can look through this one and you can see Sebulba. So like, I remember going to the theater and seeing this movie as a kid vividly. Like I remember the text and everything. And you know, I remember the politics. No, I don't remember the politics, but I can tell you this much: I do vividly remember just the amount of marketing from a kid's, like a very small perspective. Like it was literally all everywhere. And as a kid, you go to like 4 places. You go out to eat. You go to the mall, whatever. You go to the supermarket. Everything is like, as a kid, everything's very consumer in your face. You know, commercials, like you don't read books yet, really. And if you did read books, they were Star Wars books. So like, it was just there, you know? And I don't know. I have very fond memories of this whole experience. And there's something about this era that like makes me feel so giddy when I think back about it. And I think that's why I wanted to have this, because I did the math while you were talking. We're all about between 7 and 10 years apart. So like, it's just so many different areas of age here. It's incredible.
Well, but on top of the marketing that was happening about the movie, I remember articles about the marketing about the movie, because you know it's still, we have to remember that the reason Star Wars still exists today is because it was a successfully marketed film, and it changed the toy and collectible markets dramatically. And so when Phantom Menace came back, or Star Wars came back through the Phantom Menace, not only was there a lot of promotion going with it, there was expectation around the promotion. So there were stories about advertising, which of course just only amplifies it even more. And yeah, I think the Pepsi Frito-Lay ownership of Taco Bell, KFC, and Pizza Hut, that was the biggest, it owned television, right? There was more commercials for Phantom Menace through food chains, fast food chains, and Pepsi than there was for the movie itself.
Wow, that's true.
Well,
I haven't
Pete,
thought about.
I'm glad you brought that up, because you know, Scotty asked us to bring, you know, some things from that time that were kind of I don't know what you remember about the era, but and the things that I brought, these were my college roommates, and I just took them from them. But this was the Guide to 99 movie.
Wow.
Upcoming movies for the year.
Baby, yeah.
Oh, sorry. So
I used to love
entertainment.
At my grandma's house.
Entertainment Weekly was a big deal, and this is where it was kind of where we were getting our very first pictures of the movie, and this was like a big deal. And then just a couple months later, this one came out, and this one I think a lot of people remember.
Yes.
Right?
So
when we saw this was like, it's on. Like Obi-Wan is going to kick some A, and we're all here for it. And then a couple months after that, we got another.
Oh yes.
devoted.
The family photo.
The Force family.
Yeah.
The Force family right there.
And so
look at that emo hair on Ian. My gosh.
Yeah, that was very
love that.
Very hey baby.
Very JTT.
Can I say right here, 3 out of 4, the best casting that Lucas has ever done. And I'm not, and I don't, and little Annie, sorry, whatever. Any kid in that role would probably have performed similar with those lines, would have performed the same. But
that director.
Yeah.
Are you an angel?
Yeah, think about the writing. All right, can you do the same? Do the same thing, but really louder.
God.
But anyway, just to put a button on that. But I remember seeing like wanting to get those magazines because those were the trailers. Like those were the bonus sneak peeks. Those were where people still went to get their content. They wouldn't go hop on YouTube and listen to people talk, or this was Entertainment Weekly. This is, you'd go get that, or and there would be a little something in Rolling Stone, or there would be a little something in the TV Guide, or there would be a little something here and there. But Entertainment Weekly was a pretty big deal at the time, and then and so that was like, oh, it's an entertainment. I gotta get that. And it just so happened that my college roommate, Tim, he was a subscriber. And so these were sent to our on-campus apartment. And it was just like, we didn't have to go anywhere. They put it on our doorstep. And then the last thing I want to show you guys was of the things that I brought. It was an episode 1 guide, Korean guide. So this thing, it's got some dings. It's been flipped through for sure.
That's just love, man.
But there's all sorts of stuff in it, and it's all like, it's mostly in Korean, except for the introduction. But the thing that I thought was really cool is that they have, they just kind of like, this is Naboo, this is Tatooine, these are the characters. They have like a character list, and it's all in Korean.
Yes,
that's awesome.
Oh, look at all of them.
Yeah,
Is it Korean or is it Arabish? Are we sure?
It's Korean. All right, whatever. And there's creatures, and there's vehicle
fact
descriptions.
Checkers, where are the fact?
Then there's like the cast profile, and it's like a yearbook. But again, it's all in Korean. But the thing that I thought was really, really, really cool about this is that they have like 10 pages devoted to concept art.
I love that. Oh wow.
And this, so I want you to see this here. First of all,
look at Maul.
Some Darth Maul concept art right there.
Some of these I have not
Very
seen.
cool. And then there's some Obi-Wan concept art there with the little
Whoa.
With the ponytails, the Jedi ponytails kind of coming off the side.
And they went with Rat Tail after those concepts. They went with Rat Tail.
This, I swear to goodness, I think they had Ralph Fiennes pegged for the part here. Let me
go back.
Let me get there.
Ralph Fiennes. Who's that?
Ray Fine.
Ray. No.
Oh, I can see it. Yeah.
Is that a female Gungan? That's all I'm looking at.
He's the guy who's in
Galgan.
Shakespeare in Love.
Oh my God, it's great. George Lucas in Love.
A Galgan.
Galgan.
I just can't get over. I can't get over
like
Darth Maul rocking the 1970s.
That's what Sting would wear. That's what Sting would have worn.
Yeah, that looks like one of his movies.
Looks like Sting. Wasn't
Sting
he going to
up in
be
the top there? Yeah, I don't know.
Sting was like in the.
There's some Yaddle.
There's Mother Talzin.
Where?
Yeah, I mean,
she is Mother Talzin. Oh,
no. That was a concept for Darth Maul.
Yeah, he was getting.
That's unused concept for Darth Maul. The one on the side by Boss Nass.
That's Talzin, though. That's Talzin.
I know. It totally is. It's cool. These look like the elves from Lord of the Rings, but anyway, they devote a lot of. Oh my gosh. Yeah, the Galgan is hot.
You got a little bit of nude Jar Jar there too. He's one of.
Well, and then they have a bunch of Amidala concept art too.
I like that big one right there. My God,
some of it kind of came to be.
Now, who's the actress for that? That doesn't look like.
I don't know, Judy Garland. I'm not sure.
That's what it is.
Scotty doesn't know.
There's no place like Naboo.
Anyway, this was like one of the first, along with those magazines, one of the first episode 1 things that I ever got, and I've always hung on to it just because it's not that it's in great shape, but it's kind of cool and unique, and the fact that it's in Korean, I don't know.
Collecting isn't always about great shape.
Yeah, it is.
I agree.
And neither
the way you feel.
Neither is personal fitness, but
Thank God.
But you do the best with what you have, So
Yeah.
The last little thing I don't want to quit hogging the time here, but
But this fine. It's your show.
This figure, when they put Maul on every single one of the figures, like they couldn't. I mean, that really just spoke to my heart, right? Like Darth Maul was far and away the coolest thing about episode 1.
Oh, dude, totally.
And we were getting baited like he was going to be the bomb diggity
the Vader
for the next 3 episodes.
Yeah.
And
The bomb bad diggity.
the bomb bad diggity. And so like putting him on there, that was a perfect idea. Like that was so good. And I bought absolutely none of them until I was later.
Well, that's one of the reasons I ended up writing that crazy fan fiction thing, because I always believed that Darth Maul was so underutilized and so wasted in that film, just because he could have been such. I mean, he was as you just pointed out, he was the center of all of the merchandising and the marketing, and just the coolest, scariest looking dude you could.
Well, thank God for animated series.
Well, let's look at that. Let's look at that since this is the marketing show of episode 1. Let's look at that from that perspective. I think that was actually quite genius. Here's the deal: you probably couldn't have Maul through all 3 episodes, because who had to be the ultimate evil? It had to be Emperor Palpatine, right? So if Maul overshadowed
Phantom Menace.
If Maul overshadowed Lucas's vision of this dark political figure that works his way up, then it might have been too exciting for everyone. So what happened was they had to kill him off. But somebody in marketing went, look, whoever's concept art for this particular character, whoever did this is the best looking part. I mean, red and black, that wins all day long, right? And so I think that actually was genius. And if you really want to go another step, it was pretty baller of friggin' Lucas to kill him off. I agree. Look. Yes,
like
there it is.
That's how Game of Thrones made their money, by killing off major characters.
Exactly.
And okay, so was Maul more underutilized than Boba Fett?
No.
I think no. Maul was used the best.
No, but
if Twitter was around,
I guess you could say Boba was in 2 of the films. In the trilogy, but at the same time, I mean, technically, if you count,
he didn't have the screen time.
But to the point of before, though, Boba Fett has always been used for marketing, even things he was barely in, and Darth Maul's kind of the same way. Yeah.
Yep. I think they're very similar.
They are.
Here you go.
And
here you go.
You know what's
alternate universe thing. Sorry, Scotty. Real quick. Alternate universe, Maul doesn't die. He becomes the villain of the 3. Would you rather have that and not get what we have now through the through Clone Wars and all of that, or do you like where he has eventually gone?
I love where he went. I think where he went probably makes the most sense, because it was unexpected, and then it was done probably the best. Honestly, probably one of the best character arcs in general in all Star Wars.
We wouldn't have the Siege of Mandalore, right?
Right. I mean, think about all of Clone Wars, how good it is, and Rebels too.
I will even say this as somebody who recently finished Clone Wars out of complete just because I was being shamed daily shaming. Can you imagine the texts I woke up to in the morning? How's it going, non-Clone Wars watcher? And I was like, yeah, screw you. So I went back. I will say this is that it wasn't. I wanted more of Maul. I was and Savage was awesome. So that and ultimately Savage, spoiler alert, gets finished by Palpatine, who comes in more bad A than he's ever been in any other film or animation or on screen.
That's legit one of my most favorite. That's one of my most favorite lightsaber battles, period.
Yeah, and like the whole thing was that when Maul and Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan are fighting, you're like, ooh, it could go either way. Or, when Maul and Palpatine are fighting, even though you kind of know how the arc goes, you're like, yeah, this was unquestioned. Palpatine was going to win no matter what, and he won handily, and also kicked the crap out of a mutant, Savage, which was just crazy because Savage's character was so cool. Like, he was just trashing Jedi left and right. So anyway, my whole point being is that I really did love how Maul was fleshed out in Clone Wars, but I wanted more. So I agree. Maul was a great character that maybe got killed off too soon in Episode 1. Marketing wise, though, he drove everything.
Yes, and he was still marketed even into Revenge of the Sith.
Yep.
Because we were still getting watches from Taco Bell with Darth Maul on them.
I should have brought that down.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
it's in my garage.
I remember that.
Yeah.
No, it's weird because there was one video, and I saw it when I was doing research, and it might actually be on this playlist, but I don't know. There is one part where they interview a guy who literally has a Darth Maul tattoo before going into the movie. And you're thinking like, yo, that is nuts.
Whoa.
Like,
on his face?
No. but I think it's on his arm or his leg, and you're like, that is commitment before you even have any idea of this character.
It would have been awesome if Darth Maul had turned out to be like the Senate accountant. Dang it.
Yes, Chancellor.
At last we will get our accounting. At last we will be in the black. No? But
I'm just balancing your checkbook.
Well, he's red and black. He's representing.
That's what I'm saying.
Debt and credit. Yeah.
For the accounting planet
that
of
same
audit,
guy also has a Constable Zuvio tattoo.
Exactly.
Oh man! Someone told the story on the Resistance broadcast about. They said there is some dude they saw when they went to see Phantom Menace who came in full Darth Maul, full Darth. Scotty, you remember this story? Full Darth Maul, cosplay, everything.
Never go full.
Got
Darth
the
Maul.
crowd riled up at the beginning. Are you ready? Are you ready? All this stuff. So at the end of the movie, that dude was the only one left in the theater, sitting just like
just makeup running down his face, black and red.
That's like one of the funniest things. Again, go check out Resistance broadcast; they're great. But that is one of the funniest things I've ever heard. It's like a dejected Darth Maul.
But it shows the power of it. It shows literally the power of just what a toy can do and what a
good-looking character can. I mean, Boba Fett.
Exactly.
Cool-looking characters.
Yes.
You know nothing about them, and they how many lines do they have? Not a lot.
Exactly.
We have a whole.
I've got them all right here if you want them.
Incredibly marketable. Yep.
So fast forward then, is Captain Phasma the sequel version of that character? Because
I don't think Phasma grabbed it.
Yeah.
And this is where
less cool than
I think
the other two.
And I want to stay on theme here. I think this is where the marketing failed, because Phasma was gorgeous. I mean, that is an amazing. That's like a stormtrooper upgrade that we never really got, even though the clones were kind of a stormtrooper lateral. Okay, and then
Jason.
Jason. You're trying to figure out how did the clones turn into stormtroopers before we knew the answer. But Phasma was awesome to look at. Very appealing. Whoa, she is
got the cape.
I mean, has all the right components. I don't think she was utilized properly in the marketing. Not like Maul.
No.
And if they might have ridden the back of a Phasma, or even, I mean, I guess they probably tried with Kylo, but he didn't have the look. He was too dark. It was just kind of a mask and a black cloak. It was too Vader-esque.
He had the cool lightsaber, but
I
think we're probably rabbit trail.
I know. But I'm trying to tie it back into the power of the marketing for the Phantom Menace. I mean, you pointed it out. Darth Maul is on freaking everything.
Yep.
As well he should be.
Well, I mean, even look at Josh, right behind you, you've got some boxes of things. Even though,
do you guys want me to go through my marketing display?
There's even the stuff that doesn't have necessarily Maul's face on it. It's red and black. I'm just looking at the logos right there, Josh.
Let me give you a comparison.
Yeah, go to the side. Yeah, the side logo. This is where it says Star Wars, and it's in the red and black there.
Yeah. So if you go here,
I mean, it's mall themed.
Yeah, it is.
Everything's
Yeah.
backwards on my screen. Sorry.
Yeah, it's still upside down.
It is?
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Boom.
Tatooine Showdown. I remember
And
that.
then, but you still have Maul.
He's on it.
He's on it. And then this is a pretty cool toy, though. I mean, this is
Yeah.
a pretty
He's
cool
in it,
play
too.
set. Like,
I like those scenario displays. Those are actually pretty awesome.
well, and that's what I found in my collection was that I have a bunch of them, and really, when you look at them,
Very
you're like, why would you take this out of the box? I mean, these are
At the
these are
time?
fantastic. Can you recreate them? I do want to give the Bombad boys this. While Maul was a primary thrust for the marketing
Here we
campaign, don't worry, we still had
Just
Jar Jar.
as much.
Jar Jar.
That is awesome. Oh my
That's a
gosh.
Jar Jar face too.
He gets the red and black. You know, they're trying to prop him up a little bit, and there he is. He's just hanging out with, I don't know, who is this guy? I don't even know.
That's actually a woman.
It is a woman, yeah.
Just so you know.
Here we go.
Good job,
Just
Gary.
saying, it's one of those things. It's one of those
Saved
things.
Hold on, I'm gonna try something.
Quit
First
I don't
time
want
ever.
anyone to get offended.
Here we go. Let's see if it works.
Oh, it's Pez.
Oh, it's Pez.
No, nothing. There was a try me. The batteries are all dead on these, right? They're
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's that, but these
That's
play
incredible.
sets were pretty fantastic.
Oh, I see something that you have that I wanted to get.
Which
but it
one?
is not
Where?
to scale.
Which
The
type?
OPC killer. The giant fish.
Oh, I remember that toy vividly.
I never had that one. I almost bought that at Celebration 20.
Yes, I remember that, Jerry.
Yeah, I was right
Look at
there.
the price. You could have got it for $5 from KB if you would have been on top of things.
Dude, I think it was about that. It might have been $10 actually. Actually, a lot of the Phantom Menace stuff, 2019, because it was Phantom Menace 20th anniversary. Super kind of like they were really pushing the Phantom Menace stuff.
They were. I remember that.
because there's
It
a
was
ton of
pretty
it
awesome.
out there.
I love the scene that they make up there with he's got like the Aquaman spear and
Yeah, and that's funny.
Yeah.
taking out.
You know,
the-
I wonder
Yeah.
if that could have been cut. You know what I mean? There's things like this that have always interested me in terms of marketing, but like that very well could have been something that was cut. I don't know.
I think what that is called is like when you got the Batman action figures back in the 80s when Batman Returns comes out, and then you've got Batman where he's got like a scuba tank or something and a missile launcher, and he's also turquoise. And it's
Can we
like
just read
Aqua
some of the-
Batman.
Can we just read, like, for one, it says, with snapping jaws, and the other one says, product shown in fantasy situation. Actual product on back. It's like, oh, what? That's not my fantasy.
But those it's for swimming. There's one area in the front to swimming for swimming.
Yeah.
Got a
what does it
spear.
say? Choking
It says-
hazard. Where was it? What?
On the very front, it said something actions meant for swimming or something. Look, where is it?
Or was that the
Right.
back?
No, exclusive. Go over. Exclusive.
Oh, yeah.
Qui-Gon Jinn has articulate angles for swimming.
Swimming.
Air quotes.
Not for rolling them.
Articulated
but for swimming.
ankles. Articulated ankle.
Kids
You
are,
gotta have.
kids are flocking to KB Toys for articulated ankles.
I tell you what, you know, my swimming instructor when I was a kid told me you got to make sure you got your ankles good and articulated, otherwise you're gonna drown. So you gotta
I
watch
will
out.
say this: you know who's
For
made a comeback
swimming
in
action.
my heart? Yeah,
for swimming actions.
yes,
Was it?
who's made a comeback in my heart, especially through the Clone Wars, because I was annoyed as a 20-whatever-year-old. I was so annoyed by these characters, and there were many
Scotty?
of them. Are these guys?
Oh, B1s are sick.
Yeah, and it's because I really wanted to take these guys seriously. Hold on, let me get my face on and zoom on that. I really
you
wanted,
just-
when I first went in, this is one of my memories. When I first went in, I really wanted an army of battle droids to be badass. And they were like, Roger, Roger. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
I was so annoyed by them. Now, I will say that the Aftermath series and our friend, Pete's friend, Mark Thompson, his rendition of, what's his name? Mr. Bones?
Mr. Bones.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Totally helped me get over the Roger issue I had. Because
Yeah.
Mr. Bones became a badass who was like, how are you? And then he like kills him. You know, I was like, whoa, yeah, that's what I wanted.
But that was one of the weird things about
It's like
Phantom Menace
Deadpool.
broadly was the weird vocalization choices for everything, whether it was Jar Jar or whether it was the Nemoidians or whether it was the Roger of they really
Trade Federation guy.
Yeah, it became really, and I think that's one of the things that people had the biggest difficulty. Literally, I remember, and this is no joke, the first 5 minutes of Phantom Menace when I saw it in the theater, I was like, is this are we being scammed? Like, is there going to be like the real movies? I can start in a minute.
Wow.
Because really, I literally was thinking, like, I mean, that accent is like out of like a 1968 Godzilla movie, and it just was, it was very strange. And but again, to your point, Josh, the B1s and all the droids kind of came around, and it's funny now. Like, I was with you on that. I was never really huge. I don't know.
Oh, sorry. Newt and Rune. Sorry, that's a little known fact. There was a secret homosexual relationship going on.
I had no idea.
Background there.
That's a different kind of blockade.
We're not going to survive this.
You are not going to survive.
News
coming through.
There he is.
Oh, there he is. Look at
It's still coming through.
But no, back to Pete.
With Comtech.
Oh, Pete, back to what you were saying. I'm sorry.
I don't know what I said. No, but
I agree with Pete.
Yeah, somehow
that was me.
Around, but it
Sorry.
was weird. It was just weird choices, and I think obviously, in a way, I mean, George is even the dialogue in Attack of the Clones, like George is like slightly out of touch in a way. He knows he wants to make something that's accessible to kids, and Phantom Menace is really, and that's probably part of the marketing as well. It really was incredibly accessible to kids. I mean, we all as sort of adultish fans of Phantom Menace when Star Wars when it came out it was like, what's this trade federation stuff? What is this taxation of trade routes? What is this? What is that? My daughter freaking loves Jar Jar Binks. She loves everything about him.
Oh yeah, man.
And you had a car race in the middle of the movie with pod racers, right? You had a kid lead the show. I mean, it was almost like a Disney movie at the time, right? So, but it was so. And I think that was that weird dichotomy of what was happening at that time was you had fans like Josh and Andy and my age who were like, Star Wars is coming back. This is going to be cool. And then you had Jerry and Scotty who were that cool age that he wanted to hit. And it worked. And I think it took us a little bit longer. I say it all the time. Ken Knapsack's Reform Prequel List is the best way to put it because I remember my friend asked me after I saw the premiere, he said, so what did you think of the movie? And the best thing I could talk about was the sound of the pod racers. Like that was what I was like, you're going to love the pod race scene.
THX, baby.
Right. Yeah. And he was like, what about the rest of it? And I was like, no, it was cool. It was, it was all right. I mean, the old Christian Slater visually stunning comment, right? That was what the movie. So, but again, the marketing was there, and look, it was brilliant of Taco Bell and Pizza Hut and KFC to put it on the cups and make. I don't know what the sales were versus McDonald's that year, but I'm sure they were incredibly competitive, probably for the first time, right? So, it was brilliant.
Here's the problem I think that George had, and it's not his fault. George had Harrison Ford. I have to be completely honest with you. He had Harrison Ford, and he didn't mean to. Andy and I actually just talked about this the other day because we were talking about The Mandalorian and some of the cast, and we were like, Star Wars in general doesn't employ A-list actors initially. Right. They kind of have these actors you've never heard of, and whether they rise to the top or not, and Carrie Fisher didn't really, and Mark Hamill didn't really in that respect. They did their own things that were successful later on. But I honestly, and I hate to say this just solely, and anyone can shoot me down, but I think Harrison Ford brought a cool factor to a goofy set of dialogue that carried 3 movies. And so while you had Liam Neeson, who would have or could have done the same, he wasn't a character that was meant to be there for all 3 episodes. He was meant to be the mentor or the master that died so that Obi-Wan could become the master. And by the way, Ewan McGregor, again, almost as cool as Harrison Ford, but didn't get the chance because his role had to be secondary to Anakin throughout those 3 episodes, where Harrison's didn't have to be secondary to Luke. As a matter of fact, when you first watch Star Wars, you kind of could almost, with the exception of that Luke is the first person on the screen, for the most part, say that Han Solo and Luke were kind of doing their own thing in 2 different directions, and they did in Empire too. And then finally in Jedi, it comes about that Luke's, the legacy holder. But I think it comes down to actors. And if he'd had an actor, I hate to say that because Ewan's so awesome. So I don't know. I mean, I just want to throw that out there.
But it was the role that they had too. I mean, you could, I think that's part of the problem. And again, I'll be careful not to get on a rabbit hole here, but that's part of the problem with Hayden Christensen. and it wasn't entirely his fault, but he didn't have that charisma. If you had a Harrison Ford level charisma driving Anakin, you could have worked through that.
Sure.
But, and again, nothing against Hayden Christensen because it's very bizarre. And one of my guests on my show recently noticed, like when you see him in other movies, he's not that flat.
No,
I mean, look, Natalie Portman is one of the best actresses of the 90s, and she was even flat. So it's.
Yes, maybe I take back everything I said. It was just
edit that out, Scott. That was a horrible point that Josh made.
There's something there though, but I think maybe where I'll pick up the argument here is that in the prequels, there was a deliberate push for young audience where that was different than it was in the original trilogy. The original trilogy, young people got on board with it because it was outer space, it was lasers and lightsabers, it was fantasy, it was imagination coming to life on screen. Whereas and while you could get Star Wars toothbrushes and lunchboxes and everything, had a Star Wars logo on it for kids, the movie itself wasn't necessarily direct. I mean, George could say that, but there aren't any young people involved. They're all, young. By young, it's Luke as a late teen, But here we've got a child as a main character with a goofy Gungan as a sidekick kind of thing that was definitely at the level of a younger person. Whereas I think the original trilogy elevated younger people to a more mature thematic things. The prequels dropped it down so that they made sure that they had stuff for the adults, but they definitely had things in there for kids too. The woohoo, I mean, everybody, every demographic is represented in the prequels, whereas the original trilogy kind of brought everybody up to a certain level.
It's true.
Yeah, no, I agree. And that's a really big thing because you go through these movies and you just watch them, of course, as a kid. But when you grow back up, when you grow up and you go back and you watch them again, you pick up on things you never really normally would have picked up on. And I think it's really important to say that, like, we're kind of seeing that with the sequel trilogy now, Like, Mandalorian's the new it. And people are like, the sequel trilogy? I don't know. Not anymore. You know what I mean? Like, just this weird thing that happens with each franchise or each following trilogy now. It's so interesting to analyze. And
the power of Star Wars,
Yeah, it is the power of Star Wars, And there's a couple other things in this that I wanted to talk about in regards to just like where the Phantom Menace could go, And before we look at any of the crazy marketing stuff, I want to bring up to the point the fact that we are getting a show about a prequel character, and it's probably literally the most hyped show, I would even say, beyond the sequel trilogy. We're getting Obi-Wan, right? And it's going to be Ewan McGregor. And that's going to be probably the most watched thing, I would honestly believe. Like, besides The Force Awakens, I think everyone's going to jump on that wagon when it comes. So, like, that is...
Are you scared of the wagon? I'm scared of the wagon right now.
This depends. Depends on what kind of way it's a pod race wagon. But
I want to jump on it, but I'm scared of it.
It's it's weird though, because you go from saying, "All right, I love the prequels," and then now the prequels are going to come back, and this marketing is probably going to show back up. I think it's pretty crazy that there will be a return of some things we know that we're only 20 years old now. Versus when Star Wars came out, In the 70s, they had nothing like that. And the prequels came out, it was Star Wars. Well, now you got this whole thing following back through. It's very strange. It's very weird.
Well, how many of us freaked out when we thought we saw what might have been one of Anakin's like refurbished pod racer engines, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like used as like refitted as a speeder bike on Mandalorian just this last week. By the time you're listening to this, we will have had the second episode, so don't worry, you're not spoiled.
Or the world.
But like, I mean, just think about that. Like, it's still like it is popping. It is starting to pop up now.
Well,
they have stayed the heck away from pod racers for so long.
Look at it this way too, Jerry. I mean, with talk of the Obi-Wan series, there's been, of course, the rumors that Hayden Christensen is coming back. I just said 2 minutes ago, Hayden Christensen was a flat and sort of boring portrayal potentially.
Right.
Again, before I've come around to it, because now I really enjoy a lot of it. That being said, but now we're like, I might be. Nah, I'm not as excited. I'm a second level excited to see the potential of Hayden Christensen as Anakin in the Obi-Wan series. So it does all come around. And by the way, please, I hope that's not Anakin's pod racer engine. I love that it looks like it, but it's funny. There's a whole small world kind of thing. I think it's a common engine somewhere on Tatooine that Cobb picked up and rode with. But it was cool to see it, and it sounded like it, and it had the same coloring, and it was all that other stuff. So
I actually just got to watch it with my 3-year-old tonight, which is maybe you can all judge me for showing her guys getting melted with acid, but she loved it. She's just like, oh, he's throwing up. But it doesn't quite look the same. It does sound the same.
It sounds the same, yes. Mm-hmm. Yep.
It's got the red things on the bottom, like my pod racer, Anakin pod racer toy back there.
Yeah. That's a sick thing too. Jerry, I want to bring in something really Bombadcast, our friend from the Pepsi commercial. Now, some people might not be aware. I was not aware of this until moments ago when Jerry told me about it. But
the Marfalump Saga?
Yep. Oh, look at that.
It's a trilogy.
Look at Annie's.
Oh, dude,
guy.
Okay. My dad had it in his head. My parents were like all about buying me Star Wars stuff because they were like, this stuff's going to be worth tons of money forever. And like my dad was all about getting, you guys have the Darth Maul cans. That's sick. Like we're going to get every single one of these Pepsi cans. I can't tell you. I can't tell you how much you just drink that. Oh my God.
My stomach hurts.
Right. Like, well, they did that on Black Series Rebels. Actually, someone sent them like unopened stuff. They opened it and drank it. And
I bet it was fine.
They said it tastes like
chicken.
I think they said it tastes like gasoline or something. But my dad, seriously, he wanted to get all those. They ended up like in garages and underneath the house and stuff. And I mean, basically the liquid, like.
No, mine blew
evaporated out of them. Some of them blew up.
Blew up. And Andy had one that blew up. I mean, there was no keeping a Pepsi can.
No.
And then finally, it's like, you have to open it and dump it out. And
I opened all mine and dumped
Pepsi and Mountain Dew. Like I can't believe we didn't have any kidney stones or anything. I mean, it was just like
yet, Jerry. It's still gonna.
You're young.
Still a chance.
It's just gonna churn in there.
It takes time and it takes a lot of foundation.
I got my first one this year.
Don't you wish that on me? Oh, don't you wish that on me? I've already had gallstones. I've already had my gallbladder removed.
Well, you're partway there.
Yeah, I'm getting there.
You're on your way.
So
What's this?
I got it pulled up. This is the Pepsi Star Wars episode 1.
Scotty.
It's Jake Lloyd featured.
Yes, prominently. Scotty, real quick before you hit play, there is a behind the scenes or like a promotional video where there's all these Pepsi people so excited and like talking a storm up about how like Marfalump, kind of like Jar Jar's the key to this whole thing, like but with Marfalump, like they are so psyched about Marfalump being like. They're like, we got to create this alien, blah, blah, blah. We should look that up. I don't know. Just check that out, guys. Behind the scenes of Marfalump.
All right. Well, here's his debut.
Marfalump, are you downstairs again, honey?
Not now, Ma. I gotta get out of here. I'm late.
There's an entire like sitcom here.
Oh, joy!
How is he not a pod racer?
Oh.
I think it froze.
I I'm not worthy. Oops.
Not worthy. A little bit of what was it? That was
Wayne's World.
Wayne's World reference. Yeah.
Did it freeze on y'all's end?
Yeah.
It did, but I never saw this commercial. Did you, Andy?
Nope.
You never Marfalumped?
I never Marfalumped.
Have you, dude, bro, have you ever Marfalumped? There's 2 more commercials.
Do you
at least.
even Marfalump?
Bro, do you even
Marfalump, bro?
We missed
Hashtag
poor
that. Write
Jake
it down,
Lloyd.
Andy.
Poor Jake Lloyd's getting cut out of everything and all that. Like at the end there,
What a silly.
he tells Marfalump to shh.
That's where marketing goes the wrong direction, right? Like at that point, they maybe should have revealed Jar Jar, because Jar Jar would have been way better. At least he could have been supported. Like maybe you got a warning that a Marfalump was going to hit the screen, and it was Jar Jar.
Well, it's like, let's think Star Wars. What's the most Star Wars thing we could think of for our Pepsi marketing? Let's make our own alien.
Let's make our own alien. Screw George.
It's like, essentially, if you took the plot of Superman, where he lives with Ma and Pa Kent in the middle of Kansas, on, I guess, was he on another planet? Or did he just fly around the moon to another?
don't know.
Did you guys remember that?
Maybe.
Anyway, but
that
that whole
marketing? I don't remember
commercial.
that.
The whole commercial is like him, like in the basement of these old people, and like, what is going on? Is this ET? Is this like if Superman was like
closer to what it was?
It's like Superman, but like he doesn't look like a human at all. It's like clearly an alien. So it's a
Marfalump, obviously.
It's a Marfalump.
Obviously.
A lump of Marf. I think there is somewhere an actual like maquette statue, like a full life size Marfalump statue.
Oh, I bet it's worth
Some
That's a dream.
It's probably
I have another
worth
Marfalump
like
commercial
$2.
here if you want to see it. Here we go.
Put it up.
Oh yeah, I am.
Let's Marfalump this up.
I'm gonna. Yeah, hold on. Let me find it. Here.
Is this the Empire Strikes Back or the Return of the Jedi of the trilogy?
Marfalump.
Let's see. I don't recall which one.
Can you pull Andy off the screen?
I mean, yeah.
I'm just kidding.
That's all right.
I can't leave you.
I had
in.
so much candy yesterday, on Halloween. I think I'm going to Marfalump.
Yeah.
Here we go. I haven't watched it, so who knows?
Taxi!
This is the Return of the Jedi.
Oh, you gotta get the episode 1 video. Wait till you see the pod racing scene. Young Skywalker's racing for freedom.
Oh, rad.
This is where the video kicks butt. He goes into overdrive.
Oh, he said butt. Man, that was
Never stop.
magic for the 90s.
Well, you gotta see it for yourselves. From the big screen to your screen, buy the
okay,
Star Wars
okay.
Episode 1 video, some Pepsi, Tostitos tortilla chips, and get $3 back. Oh, joy!
Did they pull up in front of like a brick buster? It wasn't it was like fake Blockbuster.
I don't know.
Welcome to Brickbuster.
It gives
gotta
me a
be.
very Men in Black feel, like the whole aesthetic of that, like flying through New York.
I'm just kidding. I made up Brickbuster, but it is definitely like something video.
Generic video.
55th something video.
Oh, that's awesome.
Well, they were like, oh man, Blockbuster's like a giant, like a media
Oh, it was.
giant. We can't let them. Yeah, I know. It's like we can't let them like take it. We can't. We'll never
Afford
survive.
them.
Who at Pepsi and Frito-Lay screwed up the negotiations to actually not have it in Blockbuster?
Yeah, I know, right?
Mistake right there.
Yeah.
Missed
Well, you
out.
know,
Probably already making a deal with a little company called Redbox. Yeah.
Well, funny enough, Blockbuster did have one thing at the home release, and I'm sure y'all are aware of it. And you'll see it in the slideshow I have programmed. They had the awful Yoda. They had the awful
they did
Yoda,
have bad Yoda.
in Blockbuster. Okay, they had awful Yoda. They had crackhead
man.
Yoda.
Creepy Yoda.
So, yes. So
It's not crackhead Yoda. It's like Bob Newhart Yoda.
Well, it's like sit on my lap, you will, Yoda.
yeah, exactly.
Laugh, you will.
So besides Marfalump, there's the statues that were also in the stores, the Legos, of course, and we'll look at these later. All the video games. Do y'all remember how many were released? It was like 4 or 5. It's insane.
There's like
how
There's
many
the
there were.
Naboo. There's the Naboo Racer game.
Yeah,
There was
Battle of
Rogue,
Naboo.
Rogue Squadrons. Mm-hmm. There was
Pod Racer as well.
Pod Racer. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And
Just got that on PS4.
the Phantom Menace PS2. game.
Which was
there was
I hated that game.
PS1.
There was the
PS1.
Obi-Wan for Xbox.
Yep.
Oh my god, that's right. Holy cow.
Jedi Power Battles.
Amazing.
It was good. It was actually one of the
So many games. And like people forget that. You know, like that was LucasArts like
Xbox wasn't out.
pushing it. Yeah, I don't think Xbox is out.
Was it
It was out in
Dreamcast or something?
2001.
Yeah, I was right. Sega Dreamcast.
It was 99. It was 99 into 2000. So
Okay, so
it would've been-
the Obi-Wan wasn't, but the other three were for Nintendo 64, and so that was definitely out.
definitely. I remember having most of those too. And it's funny to think also, like you brought up earlier, several magazines. One thing that people tend to forget about that I think most people need to realize that Duel of the Fates was played on MTV for 11 weeks straight.
That's right.
11 after the
Carson
movie
Daly had to like say, and now this Star Wars song again.
literally 11 weeks straight. The first
And this
celebration.
is what, can you imagine Carson Daly's dry? And this is what you guys wanted. It's another Duel of the Fates.
John Williams.
It's the first.
I'm Carson Daly, and my personality is dead.
I was doing research, and apparently it was one of the first classical, I guess in terms of composition, classically composed songs to chart in like, I think since like the 50s or like
Mozart?
40s.
Since Brahms.
Yes, since Brahms.
Since Beethoven dropped that.
Okay, wait a second. I actually have here, I have some MTV Duel of the Fates stuff. Do you want to see it real quick?
Pull it up.
Pull it up. Sorry, I'm
Lay it
This
on
is what
us.
happens when you get a bunch of podcast hosts on another podcast.
Yeah,
You're
exactly.
like, oh, I just happen to have this.
I just happen to have this here.
This happens
All right,
to have.
hold on. Here we go. I hope this is good.
Oh, this is great. I watched it.
Do you remember
Michigan
doing
to New York
this?
City with a group of college students.
Michigan.
And instead of going to the bar last night, we went to Toys R Us to get some Star Wars toys.
Oh my gosh, yeah, she did.
Yeah, I am a geek.
That's awesome. I'm so proud of you.
She's still single?
That is great. What you got?
We got new lightsabers.
Stacey's working the crowd. Like the groovy double-edged.
Double-edged sword.
Those are badass.
They're awesome.
I'm gonna have to stop. So you're ready to check a third look at the Star Wars video. Are you ready?
Oh, yeah.
Are you guys ready? Yeah. Very well.
Kids who watch MTV today would beat them up.
Symphony Orchestra conducted by John Williams. This is Duel of the Fates.
This is incredible.
Following is your first shocking glimpse into the latest top-secret project from one of the world's most notorious
This is great.
A world premiere.
At last, we will reveal ourselves to the Jedi.
All right.
At last.
We'll go for that. We know.
Oh my gosh.
So sick.
Wait, decided not to go out to a bar where
Yeah,
guys wouldn't
those
talk to us. We
lightsabers.
just went to Toys R Us and we bought toys.
Those lightsabers, yeah, they're badass, right? Badass lightsabers. Yeah. I'm reading cue cards. It's called lightsabers, not laser swords. Okay.
Oh, it's incredible.
Oh man.
Well, I
that
don't
was
know
a
why.
group of gals right there.
Oh, great. Now do we have to take notes?
A
Yeah,
gaggle.
you do.
Of course
Why
we do.
did it format this way? Oh, whoops. So I've got several things that have been discussed, but want to make sure we kind of just, we bring it in, we talk about it. Why does it look like this? There we go. All right,
Slide
cool.
one.
So
Wow.
we've got everyone affiliated. I had to throw the names in there, and like
Matt.
you got to realize this.
This looks like a presentation, like
It is,
right.
like
It's
you're
like when I
doing the
teach.
marketing presentation.
If you find
we're gonna-
3 people and they find 3 people,
Everyone get out their cup,
Cutco
boys.
knives? Is this for Cutco knives?
let's draw some circles here, folks.
Everyone get out their cups, boys.
I almost worked for Cutco Knives.
Bet you did.
Sabulba and Jar Jar back here.
By the way, you're welcome for those cups.
Yes, that was a gift.
Thank you,
Hello, boys.
Thank you, Andy.
My
It's
boss
Andy.
Nass is downstairs.
Andy, you're my
I
sweetheart.
got Boss Nash right here, Pete.
Sit your boss Nass down. Let's watch this.
To be honest, me and Mace are pretty similar here.
You guys, it's like looking in a mirror. Looking in a mirror.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, no, this was an interesting
It's
one
uncanny.
it like Jerry was saying, it was all three of the fast food chains at the time had this, and like you can buy collectible posters
Get
from
all
each
four.
one of
Build
them.
the big picture. Nice.
Buy a drink combo or grande
I've seen
meal,
that.
dude. This makes me want Taco Bell. Like, just
oh man,
my God.
the days of supersized. Remember the days of supersize and like grande meals? Oh,
you guys can still handle it. I can't take it anymore. Still tastes the same. Terrible. And then
no, I mean I don't have a gallbladder, man. I'm talking. I paint a bowl afterwards every time.
Jesus.
Oh my God.
You're welcome.
Gerald.
You're welcome.
Smoke a bowl.
So I remember.
That comes next.
Yeah, that's the next thing.
No, that's usually
do that before you go to Taco Bell. Right. Yeah.
That's actually a prerequisite.
Dude, let's go to Taco Bell, man.
Man.
Oh, I had that pod racer. I still have a couple of. I don't have the pump thing. Yeah, but I have two of those of the pod racers.
Whoopee cushion right there.
Yeah,
set it under your mom.
Yeah.
It's working.
Wow, it's working.
Your mom.
Oh, it's amazing.
It's working.
Someone collected these pizza boxes and we're like, all right, I've got them all.
Just grease everywhere. Oh God.
It's still got the pizza in it.
No, dude, you know what the best part is? This one dude who did it was probably like, yeah, no, I want the one with the chick on it.
Yeah,
I want the one with the chick on it, please.
No.
You have no idea.
No,
you know never mind.
How many times I did that? Where I went there and I made my parents ask, like in the drive-thru, like, I already have this one and this one. Do they have this other one? I was 12.
Yeah. But actually, the guy not only was like, "Can I get the one with the chicken on it?" He's like, "Can I also just get that one separate? Like, just I don't need a pizza in the box."
Yeah, can you
just bring the box? Yeah,
can I just have 4 boxes?
Yeah, I'll give you 5 extra bucks.
Oh, that is. What is that from? What's that from, Andrew?
Oh wait, let's see. Hold on.
Put Andrew up. That's a good one.
Oh, that was the KFC.
Part of your Hutt tub.
Yeah, I know. But what? That's also marketing, right?
Those were
KFC.
KFC.
I think it's in here. I think I might have it in here.
No, it just says Lucasfilm.
Yeah, look at
Lucas. From Lucas. That was on George Lucas's desk.
Applause.
It's KFC.
Yeah. KFC, look, I got it right there in the picture.
And I got to be honest,
there it is.
I've played with that toy for like 10 minutes and nobody loses, which is a lot like
we're all winners.
We're all winners.
Nobody's head pops off. I mean, it's like my hands
worst
up before
worst
anything went down.
Rock'em Sock'em robot ever.
And that was Captain Tarples too, right? That wasn't
correct.
It was Tarples.
That's awesome.
It's a Misa Sock'em.
I have my loose Tarples right here. I got loose Tarples.
You should probably get that checked out.
No, Jerry.
I think there's
Especially
a cream for my loose
gallbladder.
Tarples. This is why I can't eat Pizza Hut. No. Here, there's my battle droid, though. This is what I was going to show you guys earlier. Right here, real quick. Look at this. This was the preview stap.
Ooh.
Before the movie even came out, you know, they did the preview figures.
What's it
it's
from?
The Scott. This is Scott.
Zoom in on him.
Zoom in.
Sorry.
Magnify.
Oh, that's
enhanced.
Yeah, this was the first Phantom Menace figure I ever saw in a store, and I begged my parents to get it. It is missing one missile. I can't find it, but and
cat junkie.
Yeah. Okay, I guess that's it. We can move on. The only thing I have is Ratatouille.
I love this. Love this Jar Jar standee right here. If I had found that for $18, it'd have been done. Also, this is my favorite. It's a bucket topper, but it's a frisbee.
Just any bucket?
It's a frisbee.
Now that's your KFC bucket top.
KFC bucket.
Yeah.
Could you imagine, like, you buy a greasy bucket of chicken? Like, let's put a rubber topper on it. That's great.
Let's be
Welcome
honest,
to the 90s, my friend.
Hey, let's be honest. If you're buying a greasy bucket of chicken from KFC, you're not running around catching frisbees, all right?
You're gonna make your dog catch it and bring it back to you.
Oh, no.
Like, I'm too tired. Awesome. Maybe I can make it in the garbage from here. God, just kidding. I don't take the garbage out.
You just, like, take it and put it on, like, an actual, like, metal pail, like a garbage, like just a bucket. Like,
why do you sound like Scotty's dad?
Hey, I do not sound like Scotty's dad because Scotty's dad probably taught him to say theater.
Oh,
yeah, that's what I heard.
Theater. That's the highlight of this episode.
It was. Is when he said, "I was at the theater." It was his like Louisiana accent. I was like, "I was at the theater," and I was like, "Oh man,
is that the same as
theater?
We're dealing with a badass here."
I do declare. Mon chéri.
Freaking Blanche Devereaux.
This is Scotty. You know why they put a bucket, like a bucket topper, a rubber frisbee on top of a KFC bucket of chicken? Is because no one cared about BPA in the 90s. Like no one knew what it was.
No, right. Look at your mugs.
It's like the asbestos. Exactly. Yeah, right. It's the asbestos of the 90s. Look at that. Yeah.
How cool is
That's why it's like, this tastes like plastic.
Oh, there's creepy. There's on my lap. You will sit, Yoda. Oh,
yes. Man. Look at him.
How can he look worse than older Yoda? That's how I just don't know. They're like,
that kind of looks like Empire Strikes Back Yoda. A little bit with like he's got like a skullet. He's got it's him with a skullet. If Yoda was a truck driver.
Exactly. That's the perfect analogy.
The water one shows up often. Like I see that on eBay often, and I've always been I want to buy
close to me right now. There's one for sale for $500, but I don't have money.
I want one. Yeah,
I've been in the same room with that Watto. And I left with less money.
That's amazing.
Man. I'm just kidding. I didn't buy it.
I'd probably give my left tarples for that Watto.
That looks like a sleepy Watto.
He does. I'm a very sleepy.
Anakin, go get the hook I sleep on the wall with.
A quintet of Wattos. We should do that in a round.
The Watto family reunion.
Can we do it? Can we do a
row your boat in Watto?
Yeah, can we do it in a round?
Let's do it. You go first.
Row your boat gently down the stream. Go, Scotty.
Row your boat. Apparently we can't.
What's the matter with you?
I don't pay you guys to stand around here and sing Row Your Boat.
All right. Everybody give me
I think I just woke up my family.
Hey, Annie. Just give me a Hey Annie on the count of 3. All 5 of us. 1.
It'll never work.
2, 3. All right, moving on.
Those of you listening to the audio,
moving on.
It's a good thing that Scotty could have added this.
But I probably won't.
He's a lazy slave.
Oh, man. Look at these guys. These were the first, if I'm not mistaken,
primitive.
Lego's first IP. Wasn't it?
It was.
Wasn't it?
In fact, I was at a really cool marketing thing, and they talked about how the Star Wars IP kind of saved Lego. Like they were almost done.
Holy cow!
And pulled them back.
Yeah, that was was made known on the Toys That Made Us.
That's right.
Too.
That's right. Yep.
No. Wow.
Look,
now they can charge a kidney. Now they can charge a kidney for like a set, you know?
Right. They were probably. How much do you think that was? That original?
I don't know.
Mall.
The mall right there, probably $10.
Star Galactica Viper that he's flying there.
Yeah,
probably even $5. I would say, and I bet
no. That's a $12 to $15 set.
12 to 15. Okay. How about the? I don't know about it. Don't you shortchange me?
It's a 5 or 6.
Back when they were yellow.
What about the Sith Infiltrator? How much would that have been?
That's what I was saying. Like $12-15.
That one was 12 to 15. I was talking about the little duel right there.
That's like a $4.99.
That's what I was saying.
bag.
$5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brick bag there.
Back in the day, I had Anakin.
How is it that Lego looks generic back then? I guess I'm just totally marketed myself. I didn't know. Yeah, it looks like I wouldn't buy this crap online. I'm like, okay,
look at
Lego system, sure,
dude. I got the Anakin, Sebulba, and Gasgano pod racers for Christmas that year. So all Lego. It was sick.
You were and your friends still made fun of you.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No one knew. They didn't know. No.
There's
what is that? Is that a pit droid? I just realized that at the.
I know that was an insult, but I think that's a point. Like Lego is cool now. Lego wasn't.
Yeah.
so cool.
That is a pit
Right?
droid.
Is that right?
I don't know. I had a ton of Legos.
I know, and you're not that cool. That's what I'm saying.
It's cool to be a nerd now, but at the same time, it's also
You're
like,
making my point.
don't invite anyone to your house. Just like, hey, you want to come play Legos with me?
No.
And stuff. You know,
You're like, oh, don't touch
it's not going to work.
It's gonna fall apart.
Y'all,
we weren't like that.
Don't be the dad from the Lego movie.
The Anakin's is in a weird hangar bay. It looks imperial, but maybe that's just me being really analyzing it way too much.
Yeah, that's because when he flew into the into the chip.
Yeah, but it looks a little strange, but I like it.
It's got the imperial on the side there. I see.
Here we go.
I had both
now
of
we're
those.
talking.
It's the value series.
Value series.
Hey, Battle for Naboo was the courageous story of the Naboo security guys who got left.
It's
and
not
the
a good
pilots,
game.
Obi-Wan Freed. Yeah, I never finished it, but
It's not a good game.
it was fun to like play. I was 12, man. It was fun.
Dude,
Pod Racer I played more though.
People forget that this, and Nintendo does not do this often. Nintendo does not let a third party ever sell a box console that does not have Mario on it, that does not have, a Link on it.
This
or
was the
whoever
first
on
time?
it. I think it was the very first time they put a Star Wars IP on a Nintendo. Like, GoldenEye was a huge game. Y'all know that.
No.
Like,
Shadows of the Empire was in 95.
oh,
96.
Shadows did have it too.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm wrong. But that's
Stepback Jr.
I saw this at Selling.
They have a Shadows box?
No, they had on the back of the Nintendo box, they did have a Shadows logo. This was a fully boxed system, okay? And I saw this at Celebration. Someone was selling it for like $120. And I really was like,
dang.
Complete in box. Star Wars Racer N64 with the expansion
For
pack.
$100?
For
Look at how
$120.
epic!
I don't
look
know
at
why
how
I didn't buy
epic
it.
they have
Should've bought it,
they
man.
make Watto look like he's all
Why is
grayed
that?
out.
That is Epic Watto.
That's
I didn't
Epic
even notice
Watto.
that.
Yeah, I'm gonna walk away from an explosion
no.
in a
Check
slow
me
motion.
Hey, check me out.
Watto's the root double.
Make my day, Annie.
There we go. Look, you'll be seeing this.
Vodka, shaking, not stirred.
You'll be seeing this gameplay guaranteed on Kanto Bytes game night.
Game night? All right.
From my N64.
Snap.
So cool.
I've got
just playing
one that
that.
you can buy for me for $100, Scotty.
Here we go.
Without the expansion pack.
Nice.
No, it's just the game.
$100. I think I have one too, to be honest.
I have.
You can get it for $7.99 on PlayStation Store right now. That's
Yeah, no. Hey, now.
Hey, it's nothing like having the cartridge in your hand.
yeah.
This warm cartridge.
But I can play it on my PlayStation 4.
Look, there's the
Can't
picture.
shove the cartridge in.
This is the picture that says it all.
I love this.
Is that
The guy
is that a Brad Johnson Tampa Bay?
That could very well be me in the
Pete's
front
in his
there.
Jedi suit, just perusing through the Amidala's right there. He's just like,
Is he wearing his bathrobe, or is that? No. That's never mind. That's a
It is the
Jedi robe.
midnight thing there, yeah.
Oh, it's so awesome.
Is that a
I'm sending you a
Walmart?
link. Pete, play this video real quick.
Oh,
Continue on.
yeah.
That
Look
is a
at this.
Walmart. I
So
remember
this-
the wall at Walmart though. The way
Look,
it made
there's-
Walmart.
wow.
I remember this. I think it was Toys R Us.
Think about what you experience now from a Star Wars merchandising perspective, and this is not it.
Yeah.
No, not at all.
Now, Marvel with Endgame had a presence that looked like this. but
Yeah.
Star Wars never did. And that's where I think there was a lot of lamenting from. Oh, I like the crickets.
Now, even
This is incredible. Full screen it, Pete.
Wrong. No naps allowed on May 3rd because 1 minute past midnight, the Brandon Toys R Us store would open its doors. The occasion? The debut of Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace toy line. Despite the sign out front, there
Toy
were
R Us.
toy items going on. Ready for the
It was a
Legion
knockoff
Figure
Toys
Star
R Us.
Rebels outside. Battle droids had to be assembled, end caps had to be accessorized, and boxes and
at
boxes
that.
of figures and toys had to find
Man, I would have killed to be the guy putting together the
You wouldn't have,
standee
though.
stuff.
You'd just been like, oh, this is crap, man.
Yeah, no, I loved doing that at my
I'm
movie
doing this
theater
at
job.
midnight?
I was that dude.
Dude, look at that. So sick.
Gotta have them. They're coming out.
I'm here for the smiling.
Vince Vaughn.
I would have liked to take. I would have liked to taken a head count on who'd had showered in the last 3 days.
Is that Pam from The Office? She's like, why am I here with this guy?
Oh, Dominic Page. Darth Maul.
Stretched down the sidewalk. Every Jedi was anxious for their first glimpse of the new characters, and especially the inflatable.
Duke, no, you didn't.
A few shared their battle strategy. I
planned.
Where's Triumph the comic insult dog?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
That's Attack of the Clones.
Go look that up right now.
By the way, similar to Watto.
She's sitting there. He's got a Matrix hat.
She's like,
she's like,
every generation.
Because it's based on
am dating this.
You're talking about a story that has heroes.
Oh, he brought his baby.
Just born.
And his son to help with the baby.
That's 90s hair mom.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's the 90s Karen cut.
Can you spend, and you don't spend anything above that, otherwise I'm in a lot of trouble when I go home tonight. So
he's in the doghouse.
Droids were perched on his lookout.
Oh, that's a nice shot of that guy working on that battle droid's crotch.
Look at all these people getting winded running to the aisle.
This music is so funny with this. Oh my gosh.
All right.
I'm just here to get stuff for my child.
Look at this guy.
Nice mullet, dude.
Action figure aisle filled up quicker than mud wrestling.
Nice ponytail.
Mud wrestling what?
Like mud wrestling at Jabba's palace.
And they're polite and they're taking their turns, no pushing or shoving or anything.
First thing I grabbed one of these.
It's because they're nerds. No, they've never pushed anyone in their lives.
Some had it down.
Half these guys have podcasts now.
Yeah, I'd say more than half.
Okay.
Here, let me stack that on there for you.
Okay.
Oh, I had that.
Oh, koosh balls.
Hey, what is that thing anyway?
I have no idea.
That guy's picking out Barbie stuff in the background. He's just like, hey, man, free trip.
Look at that.
Toys R Us.
There.
Nice jacket. I have that Jabba right here that barfs goop. Here you go.
I know we had at least 9,000 pieces out there.
I did good. I cleaned up, got what I was looking for, got some surprises. You know, can't go to work without the lightsaber pens.
I believe our store is one of the largest, if not the largest,
probably keep your job.
supplier of Star Wars items right now.
My brother still has his Darth Maul lightsaber pins.
To make sure that the customers are satisfied and we keep getting more in.
88.46. So I think
88.46 with inflation. That's like 97.48 right now.
Tallied up. John Gatto shared his secret for mixing the oil and water combination of collecting and relating to the opposite sex.
What is it, Jim?
I'm very privileged to have a fiance that loves me because of my geekness or in spite of it. So,
I hate
She's like, help me.
Yeah, we hug with our clothes on.
Oh, man.
What's that mean?
It doesn't matter.
What are you talking about?
I'll show you later.
What?
You guys,
Oh, that's the best.
Hey, boys.
I'll bring my tarpals.
I got to get going, but this has been an absolute joy.
Oh, Andy, you're the best.
I've got kids to put to bed, but thank you so much. This has been total fun here, guys. This is a great conversation. As always,
Andy?
this is my second time on the Bombadcast.
Yeah.
Little Andy.
Thank you so much.
Before you go, look, I brought my rapper Toonie just to show you and Scotty how much I love rapper Toonie.
Oh,
so if you guys were talking bad about him.
Where's
and
Dave
look,
Matthews?
Look, the harmonica is somewhere else with the bass and stuff, but look, he even has a butthole. I don't know why.
Oh, wow. Weird.
Wow.
But that they were really
Tootie.
detailed back then. Rapper Tootie, yeah. So have fun putting your kids to bed.
Bye, Andy. See you soon,
Later.
bud.
Live long and prosper.
Well, we're gonna get back to the docu.
Man, thank God Andy's gone.
Yeah. What a jerk.
And now that he's gone,
Tell you about Andy.
Look at this. There's just so much
Wizard's deepest
contemplation.
secrets.
There's just so much
Look at
contemplation.
that Jar Jar right there, man.
I know, it's incredible.
Was that like Is that like a catalog? Oh, I remember like stuff like that where he's like, here's all the products you can get.
Isn't that where you could put the force chip?
Oh, that's where you test that's where you get it.
Right.
Oh, that's sick.
I remember that. Yeah.
I tried scanning toilet paper.
Oh, yeah, gangsters. Look, he's got the Sebulba pod racer. I got that right back here.
You know,
why is this Shutterstock? Why is Shutterstock keeping like the rights to this picture?
I don't know.
They're just like, no, man, no, that's mine.
We need it.
Guys-
Watermark that nerd.
Yeah.
That's what happens. That's what comes up when you type nerd.
Does he have a pack of
Shutterstock.
trading cards?
Look, you got to think about this too. He's got probably the best toys to have. He's got the Java you squeeze and make vomit. He's got Sebulba's pod. I mean, that's just sick.
Right
he's got
there.
a battle droid ship, and he's also got the big fish with swimming ankles. So I mean, this is incredible. They lucked out.
Articulated ankles.
Articulated ankles. Oh, what Andy brought up earlier.
Cover of
Starlog.
Time.
Starlog. Oh, I love Starlog magazine.
Meet the young Obi-Wan Kenobi. He'll show up about 25 years later in a cool show on a streaming service. Oh, what? Don't worry about that.
Vanity Fair. This was the beginning of the Star Wars Vanity Fair covers, right?
Mm-hmm. I love the Force back. It's pretty sick.
They have them sitting there like they're off, like we're not on right now, but they still painted Jar Jar Binks over Ahmed Best.
Yes.
So poor Ahmed.
We also got, look at George. I love this. Look at he's slouching back.
That's chilling, man.
I know.
Uncle George.
Come
What
over
did it
here,
say?
bring me a Diet Coke. I'll tell you about the midichlorians.
He's like,
It says the Phantom Menace will be a massive film financially, and in all likelihood, the eventual champ over Titanic, which is true. It did.
You know what would be
champ
great
Titanic.
is if you saw the wig, like Liam Neeson's wig blowing by in the background like a tumbleweed.
You know what's funny about these pictures of Ewan McGregor is you see him now and you realize he actually has aged. Like in my mind, he hasn't aged at all. But he looks like he's a kid. He
Did you guys watch him doing that guitar?
the Muse song?
Maybe one of you guys shared it, I think. And when I looked at him, I was like, oh.
Yeah, he's looking Obi-Wan.
He looks Obi-Wan now. Like he's perfect. He's like the perfect age for like an after Clone Wars Obi-Wan. It's gonna be great.
Yeah,
I like the top of the Entertainment Weekly one to the.
What does it say? What does it say?
The Mariah Carey breakup.
Oh my god,
that was tragic.
Oh man,
I remember that
poor Mariah.
so well. This is the Duel of the Fates thing. Yeah, it was the first time.
With the lyrics.
The lyrics.
No. No.
I'm gonna have to send a video to you guys later. There's a video where it's like all Have you seen that? Where it's like all like corn on the cob and stuff like corn on the cob.
And when you see it on the screen, you actually believe it.
The mouth looks like it's moving that way.
They were going Mazda, Honda.
Oh, this is cool. Look,
the celebration poster's so sick.
Yeah, look. This.
Oh, can I show you? Can I show you now? Are you ready?
Yeah,
go ahead. You go first, and then
I go first?
You go first.
Okay, I'll go first.
I go.
There's one brief story I have of this. I have the original program from the Denver, Colorado celebration.
Denver.
It's got so many photos of Rick McCallum in it, and I'm just waiting to meet him. He can sign it. But but with that
Rick,
being said,
we love you, Rick.
Would that be
not that Rick?
Look, there he is. Oh my God, there he is, guys.
Where is he? Where is he? I can't see him.
There he is.
Oh
my
Look
God!
at that gorgeous mop of hair.
I have one brief story before Josh blows our mind. But Jerry was there.
Collective.
Josh, did you go to Celebration in 2019 or no?
I haven't been to a celebration. I haven't been to one. I was gonna go. I was all booked up for this year, and obviously we got nuked. But I was so stoked. As a matter of fact, I'm actually the only bright spot on not going to Celebration this year is that we weren't fully connected as a network.
That's true,
and even with some of our fans. So now I'm just more excited to actually meet you guys in person and all the people that listen and follow. So I'm okay waiting.
Yeah, me too. Now
it's going to be a fun party.
we're going to go to the Attack of the Clones panel together. It's going to be great. But it brings up a good point. Whenever we went to the Phantom Menace panel,
really?
There was one person, and then it'll stick with my mind forever. I was kind of in the nosebleeds with Katie, and it literally made me tear up. But one person had their Phantom Menace. They had their this poster shirt on from the first celebration. And I asked them later, I said, did you go to the first one? She goes, yeah, I went there and it was life-changing. And literally when they did the Phantom Menace panel and they played, it's so silly, but when they played Weird Al's The Saga Begins, everyone was singing and losing their minds. And I looked at that one person and they were losing it. And I'm like, I couldn't, they were there during that awful celebration and they are still a Celebration fan. And I was like, this is so profound because, they probably saw the Phantom Menace. They might've been disappointed, but the fact that they stuck through and went to everyone, probably everyone after that, it's just mind blowing, y'all. And Pete had a really good interview with the people that did put on Celebration. So
he had an excellent interview. Pete, what episode was that?
It was from April. It was from April,
and it was Scott Chernoff.
Scott Chernoff and Dan Madsen. Yep.
And by the way, if you haven't listened to that, go back and listen to it, because if you're interested at all in Celebration, that is what got that episode inspired me. Literally while I was listening to it, I was on my computer and I was like, check this out. And I went to eBay and I got this bad boy because Scott Chernoff was wearing it.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the jacket.
Man.
This is the jacket from the first Celebration. Now, I've not been to one, so I'm a super poser right now.
I love it.
Hey, you're a collector. It's okay.
I wear Vans. I don't skate, but this is it. Now, check it out. There's we've shown this on our show on the Holochronicles, but it says Star Wars Celebration. Focus, son of a gun. It's just beautiful. Yeah,
that's amazing.
And then hold on, there's one other. Oh, there's a cool sleeve, dude, right there.
Oh, dude, I had that on some. I had bed sheets or something that had that exact logo on it. That is so awesome.
And then
so sick.
There's one other, and Scott Chernoff was wearing this during the entire.
Yes, he was
with Pete, and I was like, "What?" And by the way, if you wear this during an interview, you're sweating. And then, but they tell an awesome story about how terrible the weather was. But this is an episode 1. I mean, they were obviously, it was hyped on the back, but look at this. Look, I just got to get it closer.
That pod racing is just,
that's amazing.
That's beautiful, man.
Isn't that cool? So big props to Pete and Scott Chernoff for setting me up with something that I will never wear until I go to a celebration. There it is, right there.
63. I just looked it up.
There you go.
Oh, yeah, there we go. Yeah,
that was one of the best interviews you've ever done, only because the stories they told and to think that they pulled it off still is so incredible. And
it was torrential rains and limited funds but it was people coming together and. This is literally off of Pete's interview, by the way. I learned all this, so just go back and watch it. Don't listen to me.
Spectacular.
Yeah,
it's a great thing. And just the lady, Scotty, that you talked to that said that it's life changing for you two who haven't gone to one yet. It is literally life changing.
It really is.
It literally is life changing.
It's one of the greatest experiences I've had in my entire life.
You think you Star War now? Just wait till you Star War after that, baby. Holy crap!
It's perfect. But you will experience that soon enough, and I don't know.
It's a religious experience.
The other thing with this one, the one to the left, the reason why I chose this one on the left is because, of course, Maul's on it, but he's not on it once. He's on it 5 times. 5 different images of Maul were used. Look at Jesus. We can see it in person.
I like he's got such a pretty smile. Why doesn't he do that more?
He should floss more, I think.
Yeah.
And look at that. It's like lightsaber combat action.
Electronic
talking.
Electronic talking, which, by the way, those batteries are long gone.
Yeah.
What does that say? When I saw you you sent me the deck. I know, and it said cool movie lines and battle sounds. I was like, oh my gosh.
Like that Marfalump commercial. It's like, it kicks butt.
Marfalump. Here, let me.
So 90s.
Yeah, buttons still don't work. In the back, you have a slot. so to speak.
Ooh.
Oh, look.
Yeah, well,
it's got
don't we all?
It's like, use the force here.
It's like, that's when he goes to get acupuncture. That's where this small.
I have a pinch in my nerves right there.
You see the one on the right is this one out of the box.
Look, we got Pete.
Yeah.
That actually is that is comparable to like a Hot Toys statue. Like that's
now the
really
funny thing is only one side of the lightsaber seems to work.
Dang it.
For whatever reason. But I just recently, I don't have it here.
Have you tried banging on him?
That's what she said.
Smack it against the desk a couple times.
I went and I was I had found on Facebook Marketplace some lady was selling like 33 Phantom Menace action figures on the card in great condition, and so for like $99 I was like, of course I'm gonna go get them. So I did, and I get there, and as I'm walking out, she's like, do you want this too? And I was like, yeah, how much? She's like, I don't know, like $10. I'm like, yeah, what the hell? I'm already spending $100 on 20-year-old action figures, so another $10. And then
whoa, Pete, that's perfect collecting format right there.
yes.
Well, the thing is, I was gonna keep it in the box, but it looked too cool to keep in the box. So
take it out of the box, take it out and play, baby.
Yeah.
What about these two?
There you go.
Those are classic.
Float in Jar Jar's lap.
I had the Jar Jar armchair. Oh heck yeah! I never forget. I had it. It was like where you
put just a chair. I thought it was like a floaty.
No, it was like where I put the laundry hamper in our old
sex
house.
doll.
It was like in a box to the side of the laundry hamper.
Right.
It's a blow up doll.
Hey, you can do a lot of things in that chair.
I do not understand the tongue lollipop.
I had that too.
Who approved that? Who was like, that's not a bad idea?
You know what kids want to do? They want to suck on Jar Jar's tongue.
they want to French Jar Jar.
The worst part.
You know what, Tom? Maybe you shouldn't work here anymore.
Yeah, right, Tom? Yeah, Tom.
Guys,
the interview I had with Mac DeMarco,
I got some pretty cool ideas.
The tongues have a
this, here's this Jar Jar Binks, and you suck on his tongue.
Like, yeah, whatever. Put it through. Put it through. We're making a Mace Windu drink cup, so might as well.
Oh, it's amazing. Yeah, like his tongue had ridges and stuff on it, which is the worst part.
Of course.
What do we call that?
The guy's other idea was like it was like a jar. It was like a Jabba that you licked like like his butt or something, and like it made him like, I don't know, puke out delicious goo.
I love the one on the left. I had the one on the left.
Guys, I love this Jar Jar.
There's a pool right on Starfighter. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I do like that. Oops, sorry.
Nah.
These are. I like this ad right here. The kid's like,
"There's a Toys R Us, not a Toys R Us."
Like, am I holding this right?
Yeah.
Price for that.
I think I had that thing, man. Look at that.
The in one. Like
the back. Show your comm link. You got the comm link right there.
Yeah.
Jerry and I both. Listen.
Hell
Ladies
yeah.
Razor /Common.
Oh, I got Watto.
What's Watto?
I got the Watto.
I am CC
Oh, never mind.
How much is
I don't have anyone. I don't have anything.
Oh, I love the
I have a great event in the boy. Going to win, I think.
It's like if Watto was drunk or something.
Oh, these are sick.
Yeah, get me wrong,
it's Watto on StreamYard.
These are the classics right here. The battle bag, which I also have. Well, you'll see an opening of that one day when Jerry comes.
Yeah, you were showing off a battle bag the other day.
When Jerry comes to town.
So yeah, that's the end of my presentation, boys. And to kind of wrap this whole thing up, there's
my Pokemon Yellow.
One video I want you to play to kind of. Why do you have that right now? There's one thing I want you to play.
It was in my drawer that I pulled this out of.
There's the opening night of the Phantom Menace that kind of like shows that whole entire moment. Like, yeah, I'm sending it to you on stream right now. Like it's like the climax of all of it. You know, it's the best way to end it, I think.
Hold on, I'm sending it to you right now, Pete.
Okay, I have it here. Here we go.
Excellent.
That's how you send blood samples through text message.
Here we go.
From your razor case.
All right, here it is.
Oh.
Audio.
Oh yeah, Pete, share the audio.
Yeah, Pete. No.
Here's Tom Brokaw.
Is this?
Oh, it's crazy. It gives me chills watching it.
Triumph the insult comet dog.
Should we just commentate for them? And here are nerds waving their saber.
Yay! Darth Maul.
Those are not authorized.
Midnight premiere.
Yeah, it's pretty sick. The hype around it.
Hey, is that Maul? Look at that dude's frosted tips. Nice.
Hey, Cobb Vamp.
Jeez, look at the size of that guy's rocket. What the hell just happened?
Chubby.
Oh, this is
Yeah,
great.
go
This is
away.
guess who shows up here, boys? Look at this kid. He's like going ham.
Holy crap. That's a lot different than a Batman movie.
Skywalker.
Oh, this
I
is
bet
Show
the
them
dudes.
after the movie.
Look who shows up.
Oh,
there he
man.
is.
Is that Fiona from?
What?
Event security is a jacket you can buy at Ross.
This is awesome.
This
Thank you,
movie
nerd.
is going to be awesome. It's dense. That's what he's saying right now.
Oh, it's so
Look
sick.
at those. Look at those.
Raise your saber if you love politics.
Raise your candy corn sabers, guys. Here we go.
Raise your unauthorized Lucasfilm.
Yeah. Nobody from Lucasfilm made any money off of those.
So awesome.
What if he's like, it's just like 2 hours of Rick McCallum drinking coffee and talking to Ewan McGregor on the phone?
Stoked.
I would watch that so bad. I'm gonna eat a Kit Kat.
Dude, I am so fucking stoked to have you on.
Dude, yeah.
What would you kick over?
believe it, man?
Dude,
That's so Rick.
dude.
Effing Obi-Wan. You got it. Effing Obi-Wan.
I told it on Scotty. You want me to? I have to be so on my 75th episode, and Scotty was the host interviewing me. I got the opportunity to tell the moment that Rick McCallum spoke to me, not to steal from Shannon's name for her story, but the moment that Rick McCallum spoke to me, I was.
Now I get it.
Can we do a Shannon Morin Bombadcast like
the moment
collaboration?
Rick McCallum spoke to me.
So I was visiting Steve Sansweet at Skywalker Ranch, and he was giving me the tour, and the ranch was quite different then than it is now, and there was really only one little section where there was a lot of Star Wars props, and it was in this big foyer with this staircase that comes down, and as we're walking through, we hear this voice from the top, and he's like, hey, excuse me, I can I borrow Steve for a minute? And I was like, yeah, and I turn around and it's Rick McCallum, and I was like,
oh my gosh,
starstruck. So it's like so Steve goes over and talks to him, and I didn't hear what they were talking about, but it was classic McCallum in every single way, like what you saw in that video. He's F-bombing this and F-bombing that, and this guy we gotta fucking take care of this guy. We gotta do this and this. And then Steve leaves and goes, I really appreciate it. I'm really sorry I took any of your time. And I was like, oh, like, who the hell am I? I'm just some guy, like, happy to be there. And freaking Rick McCallum apologized for interrupting me. That's like my
so incredible.
I'm fucking sorry, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So awesome.
He like Sansweet goes over. He's like, hey, listen here, man. You got to ditch the effing nerd. Come on. Me and Lucas are doing a beer bong out back. Come on,
Steve. We told you no nerd tours.
They're adults. They're doing coke.
They're kind of.
Come on now.
Guess who else?
We're doing beer enemas actually.
Jerry's got an obsession with.
Yeah, buttholes. Go on, Scotty, you're up.
Yeah, go ahead, Scotty. Quick, save us.
No,
I didn't know if you figured that out yet.
I was going to say, Pete also happened to be at
the toys that did it.
whenever James Cameron was mixing sound for Titanic, which is even more crazy.
Yeah, Steve takes me to the THX theater and just to show me around. Yeah, it's the very theater where you see George in that same documentary going, yeah, it's a little hard to follow. It goes a little fast. And he was like, Steve tells me, he's like, I would take you back into the mixing booth, but James Cameron's doing his new movie. I was like, oh, okay. And then months later, it's Titanic. So
it sounds like if they're trying to fool someone into thinking they know people in a sitcom.
Right. Exactly.
Right.
Oh, it's incredible. Well, I will say this, regardless of how much we can emphasize, I think the Phantom Menace will always have a very special place in each one of our hearts for different reasons. And I'm very happy I can have such studied men of Star Wars culture and knowledge to be a part of this whole discussion, because it's really kind of crazy for people who are young and watching this, or maybe watching it 10 years from now, they happen to find a video like this, like, I want to know more about it. That was such a special part to be a fan. And maybe you were 5 when The Force Awakens came out, and you're like, wow, I remember I had the same exact feeling watching The Force Awakens, and it's huge comeback into pop culture. So anyone want to say any closing lines in regards to what we talked about or where this could possibly go?
I'll jump in. I appreciated the trip down memory lane as far as the experience when it happened, because like Pete said, I'm one of those prequel reformists, or whatever it was. What was the term, Pete?
Reformed prequelists.
Yeah, reformed prequelists, where I went back and I appreciated them for what they are, and they're Star Wars movies, and that's what we appreciate as Star Wars fans, and I think that's okay. They're not perfect, but they're fun. I've had so much more fun, especially with a service like Disney Plus or just owning the movies in general. You can go back and just take parts out of them, dissect them in your own headcanon, throw them together and enjoy them for what they were. And it did come from George, and that's not to say anything for the sequels, because as a matter of fact, that's not a bad tactic for them either, taking them apart and understanding them. But again, the point being, with Phantom Menace, it brought me back to loving Star Wars. It was my awakening to, like, oh, this was this thing, this kernel that was formed when I was a small child. My fondest memory is waking up on Christmas morning to Star Wars toys under the Christmas tree. And I don't know how old I was. I don't care. It's the one memory I have of the fondest Christmas I ever had. And so I appreciate the Phantom Menace. I appreciate the marketing that helped me, really, like Andy said, it helped me continue to collect. And so good on them. And hopefully it continues to just be another Star Wars experience for somebody else. I loved our cross section of ages. You can pull me back now, because I'm going to hand it off. I loved our cross section of ages, because you were absolutely right. It was, I experienced, Return of the Jedi as a 5-year-old, but I got to watch my brothers experience the Phantom Menace as similar ages, and it was cool. My cousins, it was fun, and it kept me in it. I'm still here. I'm doing stupid podcasts all the time. So
exactly. And hey, what about for you, bud?
Yeah, to me, it's a lot of what Josh said. It really it brought me back to Star Wars, but it was also a special time for me, because I was, I had spent the previous couple of years doing the Star Wars Galaxy stuff, and you'll find my name in this particular issue of Star Wars Insider, which
I think I have that one.
Not to throw us back down a rabbit hole real quick, but these were these were the two covers for the Phantom Menace release for Star Wars Insider, and she was actually on a cover of
crazy,
which doesn't make a lot of sense, but
it proves a point.
Oh, there goes my lightsaber. Jesus.
That's what she said.
But, it's got this is actually, I would say, go out and find this issue, because it covers, we were talking about Maul before, like, that's
my God. Wow.
2 pages of Maul just to get started. But, it was a special time for me too, because like I said, it got me back into, it kept. I was in that moment. To be a part of it, to be at the New York premiere, to walk out of the theater with Natalie Portman and Liam Neeson and other New York people, Macaulay Culkin, Christmas Slater.
Sorry, I just slapped my face.
But it was a weird time too, because Phantom Menace was I was so into the collectibles before I walked out of the movie, and Scotty is frozen.
Scotty froze.
He's frozen Culkin.
It froze right on the McCulkin.
But I'm really thanks for putting this together, guys. This was a lot of fun to go back to those moments and think about them and talk about them and share them with other
Thanks
people.
for coming on, guys.
Cool. Yeah. No, if for anyone else that didn't get a chance to share this, of course, on the episode and the video right now, please reach out to us. We would love to hear your stories and more than anything, comment as well, because I'm sure you've had this moment too with some friends where you realize some crazy stuff dealing with, how much this stuff influences the way you think and the way you act and what you love about Star Wars. So I'm very happy I could have different voices on this time around for a very special episode. I feel that I think is really cool to address and think about. But Jerry, anything you want to close out with, bud?
We can't be together. I have to run the Trade Federation. I left my family for you. Sorry. Whoa. Nah.
I have a great event in the boy.
Whoa. No, man. It's just, that was such a special time. And it's amazing. I'm so glad you guys get to come on and talk about it. This has been such a blast. We've gone so long. But
we always do.
Andy had to leave.
Right. He had to leave. Yeah.
That's
he's actually still here. He's just needed to update Twitter. He's right over there. I gotta be honest. No, I'm kidding.
Okay. Hi. Yeah. But he's like, tell him I'm going to put my kids down or something.
Yeah. Put them down.
No.
I'm gonna go put your.
It's been fantastic. If I may say,
you're no good at soccer.
Scotty, you've been giving Pete a lot of shit about being Father Time, but if he is Father Time, you are the baby New Year to his Father Time.
It's very true.
So
it's true,
and I say that with great trepidation because I'm afraid you're gonna disappear, go into your costume closet, and come out in an actual diaper and sash.
Yeah, no.
Josh is like,
no.
Josh, have you seen some of our episodes?
I have. And
I have my finger on the lead.
I'm trying to wash my eyes out.
No.
Well,
no.
I will say
I already went through that Trade Federation debacle. I just
no, like it.
Yeah.
All happens.
Scotty, wrap this up.
All right, boys and girls.
Some nice bling on there. Look at that.
I hope you all enjoyed this. Please remember to go and find us at Beyond the Blast Doors Network right above, right here. One of the best network you can follow. Let's be real. And make sure you subscribe to us. Leave a like. Rate us 5 stars on iTunes. Of course, review us. Share it. Let everyone know. If you got a friend that you love to watch The Phantom Menace with, my buddy Eric, we watch all the time. You got that Eric for you. That's what you should do. Send them this link.
Find your Eric.
By all means, find your Eric and send them this link.
And stay away from your Randy. Oh gosh.
Yes, stay away from your Randy. Find that link and make sure you find new love in our friend Marfalump. But with that being said, I hope everyone listening right now remembers to stay
Bombad.
Only money.
Rapper Toonie kind of looks like Marfalump's grandpa or something.
You little state of Bombad. If you don't understand Bombad, you're a stupid head. Yeah, goodbye.
Instead of Bombad. Forget about it.
future or Bombad.